so far the new setup has been amazing on the glory hole. I just did one piece, but I was amazed at how hot the front of that thing is now. I moved that thing forward, I thought almost too far, but I think it's just perfect. It's keeping the flame inside the doors, and all the heat is just right there, right at the opening, which is just great. Because now I know that I can put the piece right there and get as much heat into the piece as I can. It's just so important. Rather than having to shove it all the way back in there, it's just not ideal. So on that piece, I turned it around, this little tumbler, turned it around. I had a sort of decent sized opening, but it was so hot that I was sitting there just trying to heat it up so I could open it up the rest of the way, and it sealed up. It got so liquid that the whole thing just sealed up, which is just great. It means that I just need to heat that about half the amount of time to get it as hot as I was used to doing. Very, very good. I'm happy to say I was able to save the piece by making another hole, but that wasn't even the best part of that. It was just knowing that the heat's where I want it now. And I'm really excited to give another piece a shot now. I haven't even thought of what I want to make, but I'm thinking about picking up some color bar and making one of my nice straight-sided vases. I got a piece of, it's not really white, it's more like a translucent white that would probably be really pretty on this pink and purple that I've got here. So why don't I just try to keep it simple? And I've even got some dichroic glass in here I could pick up after the white. Pick up a little dichro, put on the color, do a little twist, encase that, and then blow out a nice little. Boy, this thing is bent like crazy. I think it's so hot up there that now trying to do that is not a good idea because the whole pipe is just going to bend. It's just amazing. See if it may just go back into shape, but nah, doesn't look like it. Boy, I'll spend a little time trying to get this thing back into. That doesn't look, yeah, that's pretty bad. There's the high spot. I already found out how hard it is to blow one of these things straight when the pipe is crooked. I was talking about that when I was visiting you guys. Might be coming back. You know, it's funny, some guys talk about how this company, Steinert, that makes these pipes, is kind of losing their market share because their pipes aren't as resilient as they used to be, so they're probably using thinner gauge tubing here, or a different type of steel that's less resistant to heat. So when I just put it, and now it's straightening out quite a bit. That's really not too good. You know, you can imagine you don't want your pipe to be subject to bending when it's got heat applied to it. Obviously, it's still got a bend in it, but it's not as severe as it was. In fact, I'd almost say it's straight. Let me chill it off in here real quick. It's really not all that hot now. So, that does have a little pop up in it there. It's hard for me to tell. I think it's right there. to be beyond the pipe and more in the head where it's going up and down. Although I do see it rising and falling here. Could have a couple bends in it, I suppose, unless there's a dip in this surface here. I think it's just got a couple dips in it. There's the high part of that. Now that wasn't good because you're worried about denting your pipe up. There it is right there. And I don't get it. That's got the head. That's pretty straight. Still seems to have a little dip in the pipe here, like right here. That's going to be harder to straighten. But this seems real good across here now. I imagine that's going to be fine. You can send these things to have them straightened. They also sell a little tool for lining it up. Shows you where the dip is. You put a little chalk line and then you try to bend it back into shape. But you know, kind of a lesson to me. I used to think this would, well, they sell a pretty good product at a good price, but it might be worthwhile looking into some of the other pipes next time so I don't have to worry about this. Some guys just really swear by other brands of pipes. I swear that bent again. Yeah, look at that. It's totally just going back every time. I don't know. I'll worry about this some other time. It's not good. That one's got a little pickup on it too. Pretty good hiccup. Okay here. Try not to leave it in the glory like that too, see what happens. It's my favorite size pipe too, so I'm gonna have to do something about that. So hot up there in the front. I used to leave it there so it would heat up a little faster. I swear I'm feeling this thing have, it's got a piece of glass up there, but it feels like it's got kind of a, you know, a weighted cycle there. Now I know what to blame it on if the piece doesn't go well. That's always nice. Wasn't my fault. Daggone pipe. Gonna pick up some white. So I do the ugly bubble. Back's a little funny today, right in the middle. Usually it's to my left side, but maybe that's good. Maybe it's something different. Just kind of temporary little hiccup in the back. Trying to take it easy today. Don't want to do anything too huge. Focus on doing some nice pieces with the New Glory setup. Testing it out. So I got a piece of ivory in there too. Maybe I'll try that later. That comes out real well as sort of an earth tony color. Get out some browns, maybe a reddish color. But for now we're going with this white and purple, real clean. I'm hoping. Now this should get really hot really fast. With that flame right in front, like I said. So, just a lot of advantages to having moved that thing forward. And I'm telling you right now, I know I'm going to be able to turn that Glory down because it is like white hot right now. You know, the sun is shutting its eyes looking at my Glory hole. That's what I'm saying. It's hard to keep that color on the pipe right now. It's so hot, it just wants to kind of melt off. Love it. Hot is good. Start doing borosilicate in this thing. It's going to turn that fire brick to molten fire brick. I think this is one of those white colors that when it's really hot, it sort of loses its color. It's real clear out on the end right now. Like a transparent, even though it's got a lot of opalescence in the final. Got to push that glass back on the pipe, let it fold onto itself, or just kind of push it back and squash it, mushroom it out. I never much liked heat shields on Glory holes, where you put a big piece of sheet metal here to block some of that heat hitting you, but man, it almost makes sense with this setup now. That's hot. See, look at that. I can just let that drip down there. It's so hot. And that's a relatively stiff color right there. Just really, really happy with that. I'll get it a little hotter again and then pull the color down. Just make sure that it's over the end of the pipe, and then start that bubble. Look it up, but this was one of my sample colors. I believe it's a Kugler company, Kugler colors, and it said 61LA. I know 61 is a typical enamel white number for a lot of companies, but LA, there's lead free, but I don't know what LA would be. Maybe it was an F. I don't think so, though. Push that color up on the pipe a little bit. What bums me out about that other pipe, I'm going to have to work on that. But this looks pretty straight here. That one piece I did like this, where the pipe was not straight, just really don't want that to happen again. That's pretty miserable. But you can see a nice egg shape there. I'll start my bubble now by getting good even heat in this. Just cool the very end of it, and then give it a puff, blow and cap it. But I mean, that I don't have this very far in there, and that is right in front of the flame. I mean, that thing got hot so fast. That is orange hot. That is awesome. That may be too hot. I'm going to let that chill for just a minute. That is hot. I can see it. Thought I saw it expanding. There it goes. Yep. Nice start. Feels good. Woo! And I put that needle valve on the pipe warmer. It was just a little bit too hot. Now I can fine adjust that flame, which is pretty amazing given the size of that burner. So, boy, all in all, just I had to take a weekend to do it, but I think it's made my equipment tons more, functional, easy to use, and it was already doing pretty well, so I'm real happy with that. I'll turn this down a little bit, actually, like I said. Right at the source, so I know there's less gas going out there now, even though all the mixtures are about the same. Looks like I've got a lot of flame coming in, or coming out, so I'm going to pump that up a little bit, turn off some of the gas, which is not a bad thing if you're wanting to save gas. You always want a little bit of flame coming out the front. It's been what I've heard. It sounds like it's rumbling a little funny, so. Whoa, that's really hot. I don't want it to go too far back now. Seems like I got a bit of a reducing flame, but I think it's pretty good. You just gotta play with it, of a lot of adjustments I can make on that thing. So I'll put the Dicro on here first, let this chill a little bit. Don't want it to pop as soon as I touch it. It's looking pretty good. Now I'm gonna dust these pieces off so they don't have any. Oh, that's not what I wanted to see. Darn. Thermal shock. Either get you when it's heating up or when it's cooling down. One way or the other. I'd say that was cooling down. I don't know. Got the Dicro on one side where I want it to stick on there, so it'll protect the Dicro. Not to turn black. So I'll heat this up again and try to get some of that, some more of that. I've got another piece lying here and there, but I'll just throw those up on my my color table and pick them up sometime in a flower or something like that. Boy, it's already hot again. It's pretty damn good. Just want to get a good consistent Dicro on here. That's good. Little shards cool off pretty fast, especially sitting on a big steel table like that. So, excitement. I think I'll do the swirls in the Dicro and then just put the purple on. So I'm gonna go into the mold. I just need to get some cinder blocks to stand up on too. It's kind of handy for just something quick like that. I don't have to go all the way over to the steps ladder and move real quick then. Tell you what, it's hot today. We got a beautiful day, but man, it's kind of warm in here. Thinking about getting a little fan right there. Just blow at me. That is hot. Twist within a twist there, I'll tell you. Took the color and kind of the color bubble I had, it squashed it and then started twisting it. That's how hot it was. So now I want to get this shaped up, and then I'll get another gather. I wasn't going to do that, but I think I will. I mean, I wasn't going to get another gather before I put on color, but I don't really like the idea of putting that color right on that dichro. Important to reestablish the bubble after it gets all squashed like that. So that was fine. Worked real good. Be a lot harder to do after next gather. So it's got a lot of swirls of color in there. Should add differences in the density of that white, which may or may not be something you can see. With white, it's so pure, it's usually kind of hard to tell if there's differences in the density of it, but we'll see. The ivory probably would have shown a little more. Or a red. So I'll strip gather, get some color, and then we'll be ready to blow this thing out. Just leave the frit on the outside of the piece. I just hold it upside down, let it strip off, close up the furnace. This is called Gold Ruby, I believe. Very pretty pinkish color. Do it, and I'm going to do a little bit of purple, which is just called purple from Gaffer. Much more of a dark color, and I don't want to put on too much of it, so try to kind of press down lightly and let it go on there. Kind of leave some open spots even with that pink. Okay, that's about it for color. Just inside the door, right in front of the burner. Why you design one of these any other way, I have no idea. out at the shoulders, right where I want it to. Try to get rid of that little knob on the end a little bit. While still retaining a nice taper down. Keep that bubble up at the top, blowing out well. Boy, it's just so nice. Probably ought to go ahead and put the blow hose on. Yeah, it's going just right where I want it to blow out. Before, the bottom was always just, I'd blow like this and the bottom was just going whoop. You can see now I can get those nice shapes with so much of the shoulder left up here at the top. Get a nice dramatic flow down to the bottom. It's so much harder if you are fighting against where that heat is applied. Go ahead and put a neckline in. Probably going to have a few problems eventually with just blowing it out too much there at the top and it get too thin. I'll just try to think about that now. That's almost like perpetual heat up there now in the neck. Just beautiful. And I can still handle it nice and close. I feel the heat because it's so hot in front of the glory hole. You know, it's definitely getting the pipe hotter, but not like when you shove it all the way into the glory hole hot. Beautiful. Just start working my way down the pipe now. That's how we work. Pipe down. I'll just give it a little swing. It'll be interesting to see how well it holds its heat without with the doors open a little bit. It's still white hot even though I turned the burners down a little bit. I mean, that is hot. That is hot. Wow. Woo! Love it. Look out, good pieces. Here I come. Love it. May not even need the blow hose. On a littler piece like this, you know, you can get away with a lot with the heat in the right place. It just makes such a difference. I am just going to keep emphasizing that because that's what this piece is all about right here, man. I just want a nice taper. I don't want to overdo it here with the swing out. Just try to keep control of it. But still getting a lot of nice length out of a 3-gather piece. It's just what I like to see. Heating a little deeper because I want to get it a little bit more blown out all the way up to the top. But I got my shoulders established real nicely up at the top. I don't have to get that hot so I don't lose that part. If I swing it down or blow it out or whatever, it stays established. Give it a little puff. It's coming in nice. I'll just work the bottom now. I don't want to scratch this thing, overworking it when it's a little bit cooler. See how that blows out just the bottom? Get to a nice tapered shape that I can just smooth down. Chilled it down where I didn't want it to blow out and kept it hot where I did. There's plenty of glass down there because I can control the heat. Yeah, I'm a little bit excited about that. If I can blow a piece this nice with this much ease, that's something. Means I get to something better even faster. I feel that pipe having a little issue, but I think that's okay. Pretty colors together. You can see that. And it didn't stretch out those colors. I've been having such a dang hard time with the bottom colors getting so stretched out because the heat is all down there and the thing just takes off and blows out down there. And I'm unable to keep control of the piece. Now this is just really nice. Yeah, there's more density at the top. You'd expect that, but not having the bottom just completely blown out. That's a really squared off, nice looking, what I think looks real professional in glass blowing is getting a really squared off bottom, not just these real curved bottoms like I mean you get them a lot. Sometimes it looks cool, but get that thing square on a real straight piece to begin with. It comes down and touches that surface and you don't see anything. It's just the bottom of your piece of glass. furnace is hot, I'll tell you that much. I checked it before I started it. I wanted to make sure those elements were holding up, and whatever I did to put them back in there seemed to do the job real nice. Crucible seems to be doing just great. So that's real nice. Not having to worry about that as much, maybe. Hot. Hot punny. Hot punny. Woo! A little thicker at the top than I thought it would be, but it's probably just because I was a little funny when I put it, when I did the jack line, I was way up on the pipe, so that'll definitely do that. Or sometimes it just makes it look real thick because it's got an angle to the glass rather than just being a straight cut. I'm really lucky this didn't fall off after it flopped like that, because I hit the back of the pipe on the little knockoff pole I've got there. Blowing solo is always a little bit of one-man band ship. Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, this will be a decent vase. It's well established down here. Yeah, I'm just gonna pull that out and trim it off, and I think as far as an opening, I try to kind of like to do that cone shape if I can. See what it looks like after I trim it. I think that's hot enough right there. Like I said, now it's so much hotter, I gotta be careful. Good. Don't want to heat it too much. I want to get back on there and even it up. Is to heat a little deeper, use the puffer, and puff that out. We'll see how it works. I don't know. It just hasn't been working all that great for me lately. It's not a bad shape the way it is. I got the heat in the right place. Walk it back here. And it's too open, so this part isn't going to close over. So I'm just going to use the paper to bring it back in a little bit. Give it a nice, those nice shoulders again. Push the opening down just a little bit. And then even it up. Be easy for it to really flare open right now. Kind of what it wants to do. Gotta work it back. Pretty. It got a little bit of wiggliness in the top. I'll try to straighten it out a little bit here. Kind of squeezed it down. The opening got a little blobby on it. I'm going to try to rework it out a little bit here. Maybe dig it out with the jacks. This one may end up straight-sided. I don't know. It's kind of... It was a mistake to try to do the puffer. I think with the puffer I got to get it real small opening, and yeah, that's the only way. This big opening ends up folding back outside like a collar. Pretty straight, maybe about as good as I'm going to get without just completely flaring it open. I just don't want to do. It's got kind of a little ring of white around the top from the inner layer that's neat. Just the way that the glass kind of peeled back. Gonna sit real nice in the kiln here. Still could have blown out the top a little more, but I think that was mostly just because of where I put in the jack line. Got a little thick up there, but whew. I'll bet that just didn't take all that long either, except for screwing around with the top. Well, all that color bar and stuff took a while, but that was fun.